Here he is from New York. That Kevin McCullough.
Well, I hope you're getting into the holiday spirit. One of the reasons that we do the match night for CSI here at That Kevin Show is because I believe strongly that if I have a platform like this where I have the privilege of giving you information and telling you my opinion and doing all these other things week in and week out, that I also have the opportunity to use this platform for good. In fact, it may sound kind of corny to some people that are watching or listening, but many years ago, when I first had the opportunity to become syndicated, it had been a lifelong dream. I really wanted to be heard all over the country, and it was something as a little boy, you just couldn't imagine how big of a dream it was to me. And I made kind of a promise to God that as a way of saying thank you to him, from the very beginning, I will always use my platform in some way to try to make the world a better place. And over the last 10 years or so, I've had the incredible privilege to do that with Christian Solidarity International, who do the work to protect those that are being persecuted for what they believe. And while the majority of their work happens to be persecuted Christians in many areas across the globe, they have also come to the aid of other groups that have been harshly persecuted by governments that just don't like the people for anything more than what they say they believe. So it is a very meaningful thing to be a spokesperson for them, but it is an even more meaningful thing to see you and I working together to affect great good on people's behalf. And that's why tonight is match night. Every gift that is given at 888-342-1010, 888-342-1010, or if you go to bringherhome.org, bringherhome.org, or call 888-342-1010. If you give a gift of any size right now, it's going to be matched, it's going to be doubled, and our goal is to help release an additional 80 slaves. Now, we are currently about 11 slaves away from meeting the goal that we set out for the year, 192. But if we were able to match this gift of 80 slaves maximum that this donor to CSI is going to provide, that would take us well over 250 slaves for the year, and that would be an amazing thing for us to do. I don't think we've ever done as many slaves as that in a single year. So I want to say thank you, first of all, for those of you that have already given and have helped liberate the 181 human beings that we have liberated this year. That is incredible. That means that this Christmas, these Christian women that have been living in slavery, that have been beaten within an inch of their life, have been ritualistically raped and sexually assaulted and harmed in almost every way that you can imagine. Those 181 never have to go back to that life again because of your generosity. So for those of you that have already given, thank you. For those of you that haven't and you've been considering, here's what it does. $250 one time liberates a woman out of slavery and gives her everything that she needs to start her life over again. I don't know of a single other cause at Christmas time that does as much just completely unmitigated good as this cause. This is why my family and I this year, and we're very grateful to God for the opportunity, but for about the fourth year in a row, we have set aside $250 a month to liberate one slave each month. Now, that's a big amount for our budget, for our family budget, but we've been able to do it on a monthly basis for the last 4 years. And that means that about 48 slaves have been liberated because my family has come together and made a decision. My kids, during COVID, they would hear me talking about the slave liberation issue, and they would ask me, Dad, what are we doing about it? What are we going to do about it? And I said, well, what should we do about it? And they said, well, we should help. And so we've been doing that. And we do that on a monthly basis, proactively, on purpose, because we, number one, believe in CSI. I know that the work that they do, they stretch every penny to its very thinnest. There's no one that watches over the gifts that come in any more closely in terms of stewardship than CSI. And every penny you give goes directly to liberating that slave. So tonight, and through the end of Giving Tuesday. At the end of Giving Tuesday, I don't know if the match will still be in effect beyond that or not, but we have the opportunity tonight, tomorrow, Monday and all day on Giving Tuesday to match every slave that we can liberate. So maybe you want to talk to your family and say, hey, could we liberate 4 slaves, 250 each? That's $1,000. If you make that gift, that will be turned into $2,000 and 8 slaves will be liberated because you did it right now. This is why I am asking urgently for you to go and give your gift immediately. 888-342-1010. We want to maximize this generosity from this one donor to CSI who wants to give a gift that would cover at least 80 slaves. 888-342-1010 is the number, 888-342-1010. You can also give online at bringherhome.org. Now, when you give the gift, $250 is the cost. What they get in return is simply astounding. I want you to pull out your last grocery shopping receipt if you have a family of more than 2 people. And for a month, I'd like you to add up all the grocery receipts that you were able to, pull and provide. I'm going to bet that the average American household has spent more than $250 in the last month just on groceries. I'm not saying you shouldn't spend it on your groceries. That's necessary. But if you take that $250 and you give it to CSI for 1 slave to be released, they get 2 years worth of food, a year of grain that's ready to be used now, and a year of seed that will turn into a crop of grain that they can use a year from now. They get every utensil to cook, clean, live, fish, everything they need to do, that utensil is included. They have tarps and blankets and other things that help them with the weather. They have something like a Bible in their own language. They are given the opportunity to have fishing utensils so that they can continue to add to their food supply. And then kind of the funnest thing of the whole bag is that they are given a small goat kid. Baby goats are called kids. A small goat kid that within just a few months will be at ripe maturity to have kids of their own. And when they are able to do that, that turns into a micro enterprise business for the former slave. Now, you have to remember, these are women largely that have had nothing more than the clothes on their back since they were taken into slavery. That's it. They've faced the most horrific forms of abuse, sexual assault, rape, etc. They've survived. Now we just need to bring them home. Bringherhome.org, bringherhome.org, or call 888-342-1010. Every gift being matched tonight. 888-342-1010.